if you want to smoke crack, do it, but I don't have to be a part of it, bro. Stay away from me with that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she needs to shut the fuck up is what she needs to do.
Oh my god, Fresh. You're making me touch myself. I might have to touch these nipples. I don't know.
Oh?
Whose cocaine was in the White House?
Welcome to the GOAT Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy. My name is ZiLLY. Man, we have a good show today. We have a lot to talk about. This past week was insane. A lot happening. And even today on this fine Monday when we're recording, a bunch of things happening. I want to go to you, Deezy, because I need to know what the hell's going on in AZ, bro. Deezy's out in Arizona, as they like to call it in some parts. And I don't know, Deezy, can you explain what I'm talking about?
No one calls it that anywhere, by the way.
You ain't call it Arizona?
Nah, dude. Nah. I saw the video. I don't know if you saw it. This lady, I believe it was Surprise, was going to talk about how much the city of Surprise's lawyer was getting paid. I guess she was reviewing the contract, and it was a public forum. And she came there and presented information about her thoughts on it. And the mayor tried to say that you're not allowed to come at any person that's an employee of the city, pretty much. Like, you're not allowed to make any public remarks about specific employees of the city. And she essentially said, that's my First Amendment right. So like, you can't infringe on that, and I'm gonna speak. It's my time. And they had her removed, and she obviously wasn't too happy about that. And I'm not 100% sure if she was actually arrested, but they definitely removed her from the forum by force while she was trying to talk about something that is relatively, it makes sense to bring that to a public forum with your leaders to talk about, this guy's contract states that he can change his pay depending on this, that, or the other, which is.
And not only did they remove her from this forum from talking, basically she was trying to talk about this and they removed her, but her 10-year-old kid was there and she was removed forcibly from this forum. So for anybody who may not be familiar, maybe you're watching this from overseas, we have a thing called the First Amendment in which you can say whatever the fuck you want to say against the government, no matter how salty, no matter how brazen, no matter how vicious. You can say whatever you want to say. Okay. And that's it. There's nothing else to it. That's it. You can say whatever you want to say, and you have no right to remove somebody from a forum for doing that. I think. I don't know if there's any sort of local law or anything like that that supersedes that.
They tried to say that there's some kind of template to the forum in which you had to subscribe to in order to speak. And one of those rules was that you're not allowed to, directly attack any employee of
any individual person, right? It's about policies and stuff like that. It's not.
But her argument was that's unconstitutional and it infringes on my right to my First Amendment speech.
So the thing is, I have a couple questions. Where did it take place? Like, what is the building that it took place in, and who owns it? Second of all,
I'm pretty sure it's a government building. Like, it took place.
So then technically she should be allowed to say whatever it is that she wants to say. However, again, if there is rules to this forum, they're not saying you cannot say this thing. They're saying this is not the time and the place. We are here to do something else. Step outside and say it if you want, but that's not. We have rules here that we follow as to how we pose these questions.
But if that rule was made to prevent people from speaking out against matters that are happening, that's kind of was her point. Like, you made this rule so that people can't be called out for the things that they're doing, but that's kind of the whole point of this whole public forum, is for the public to bring their ideas to you, the leaders, and for you to answer their questions because they elected you, you know? So like that's the whole point. So
But
you
so
can't
I
make
guess
a rule
the
that
point of it
prevents
is,
you from asking questions about officials that the elected officials hired, and now you're paying for with your tax-paying dollars to fund this lawyer who could end up being who knows how much money for the city for whatever the case. I haven't really dug too deep into whatever's going on there, but
well, there's a, I mean, again, a couple of questions about it. So is the lawyer an employee of the government, or is the lawyer a contracted lawyer for the government? It's different, right?
good. It's a good question.
And then,
It's contract. There is a contract. That's what she was going there to bring
yeah.
forth. Like, hey, in this contract that you, the leaders, you know,
So
signed.
then again,
Okay,
I think that you go after, you're going after an individual, I think is the problem with what it is that it's meant, this is not what this forum is meant for. We're here to discuss and fix policies and shit, right? So if you have a problem with,
city spending is a policy.
absolutely, then you talk about it in totality. When you single one person out, it now becomes argumentative and nothing gets solved, right? Again, I'm not trying to infringe on anybody's right to say anything. I definitely think you should be able to say whatever you need to say. However, I also understand the other side of it, whereas like there's decorum to this conversation, and we would expect that you would uphold that.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand what both of you guys are saying. Obviously, we're all free speech, absolutists here. And I agree with you, Deezy. If it was an open public forum where you're able to talk about whatever, then it's totally wrong what they did. That said, I do understand what you're saying, Fresh, in the sense of, okay, if it was a forum that had a specific purpose, and the guy says that she agreed to, there was some kind of agreement that she agreed to. I don't know what that is exactly. I don't know if it's a signed thing or if it's just sort of like something implicit in attending that meeting. But he was saying that this is not the place to talk about that issue. Now obviously that could definitely be just him deflecting because it's something uncomfortable that they don't want to talk about. My thing is there's a couple of things. First thing is, I really hate when there's conflict and someone is not willing to calm things down, right? Like she could have brought it up. She brought it up and she was not rude when she brought it up off the bat. And even if she was,
Her beginning statement was like, I know you guys have an executive meeting, so I'm going to try to be quick with my time to respect your time. Like, she literally started her sentence with that, you know? And then, and then they cut her off, and that's what led into this. Like, she's like, let me finish my statements and I'll be out of here. You know what I mean?
right. And that's where, and I notice this a lot when I watch these police encounter videos on YouTube. And the good cops are the ones that they go into the situation and they do everything in their power to de-escalate it. So if somebody's, getting heated, they speak calmly, they, whatever you got to do to try and calm this stuff down and then hopefully have a peaceful resolution. I think in this situation, what really bothers me about it more than anything is just the arrogance of these council members and their behavior. As soon as she starts bringing it up, all you got to do is say, hey, listen, this is an important issue and we understand how you feel, a little empathy. We understand how you feel, and we know that people are upset by this, but this is something that's going to be discussed at this other thing. Right now, we want to discuss these other issues, and we definitely will address it. And I would be happy to speak with you after this is over personally to try and figure out, how we can talk about this issue. That's all he had to say.
There's even another way to handle this, right? Is she has these 5 minutes. You've given her this time, right? So respectfully listen, give her, this is her time now. So whatever she says, whether it's relevant or not to the meeting, let her say it. And then at the end of the meeting, then you handle it the way you said, right? Then because, or at the end of her 5 minutes, you let her know, I respect what you're saying. I think that it's very important, like, it kind of placate her a little bit and let her know this is where we will be discussing these things. Give her an option for where she is to bring this to, not act like, oh, I'm better than you.
I'm getting some more background. Okay.
Okay.
This is from theblaze.com. It's an article. And she said that Massie was the woman who got arrested, who again, she did get charged with, let's see, she was cited for trespassing, class 3 misdemeanor, and resisting arrest and obstructing government operations.
Wow. Really?
And she said that she was never read her Miranda rights, nor was she allowed to contact an attorney.
I think she has a good case for a lawsuit. I'd be interested to see how
Pour one
this
out for
plays
the
out.
U.S. justice system.
Oh, damn. Shit. Pour one out, man. Pour it out.
But she said, and by the way, this was a city council meeting. So, I mean, I feel like that she was in right to bring this up, right? Like, it doesn't make, she waited her time. She got requested time, got up, and she should be given her time. She didn't say any profanities. She wasn't like calling anybody hateful speech. She's
Yeah,
pointing out
absolutely.
she's pointing out a contract that the city made with an attorney, and just because it was that attorney doesn't mean that she was, attacking an official. She was just pointing out, like, this is the person that this contract was made with, and that's kind of,
Well, so there should be no problem with her giving this information. So it's her 5 minutes.
it should be public anyway.
Yeah, let her have the 5 minutes. Let her say whatever it is that she wants to say. There's no need to cut her off. There's no need to stop her. However, again, I can also see this is why these types of venues have moderators, because we're meant to stay on topic. We're here to talk about a specific thing. It is not appropriate to take up time that could be used and allocated to something better, right? Like something that's actually on topic here. So I do need to know more about the specific venue they were at and what the conversation was supposed to be about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if it was an open forum, then these people are bastards, and they need to be told by the American people that this is not going to be tolerated. And I think there is a growing. I mean, there's kind of a growing. The story's taking flight on social media, and hopefully these people can feel the pressure of that. But yeah, I feel like just zooming out, it's one of those things where any situation like this, in any circumstance, in wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I feel like can be handled in a way that is not going to escalate the situation. And I think that that's the way that I was hoping that our I want our politicians to be politicians. It used to be, dang it. All right, I'm going to talk to the politicians here. We got to talk to these politicians. Listen, politicians, we don't trust you. We don't like you. Okay, fine. Everybody knows that. But here's the thing. It used to be y'all knew how to sweet talk us. Sweet talk. And now we don't get no sweet talk from y'all. We just get you yelling at us. You get us, threatening us. That's not what a politician's supposed to do, baby. Politician's supposed to sweet talk you, man. Ma'am, we understand how you feel. Feel it from my heart to yours. I'm sorry that this is how it's going for you in your life, but I promise you, if you just vote for me, I'll make all your troubles go away. Man, you made me go full Clinton. That's what you guys are supposed to be doing. You got to learn from the greats. Sweet talk. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, but now they've taken away the sugar and they've left all stick.
It's
they
all
come
stick.
Out, all stick. You're bad. You're wrong. I'm going to tell you why. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
They just get their big billy club and they're just like bop, bop, bop on your skull, Deezy. That's what they do now. And I don't like it. I want you to lie to me. I want you to tell me sweet nothings. I want you to make me feel good. I don't want you to make me think. I just want you to make me feel heard.
Wait, is this a Kamala? Is this a fucking Indian guy?
It is definitely an endorsement for Kamala.
Is this Indians for Kamala campaign right here?
But no. Listen. And we'll get to Kamala in a bit. I got plenty to say about her. But I will say right now, she ain't sweet talking nobody. And she ain't never been sweet talking nobody. Trump,
she's trying her best, bro. Okay.
Listen. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe she needs to just develop her skill set. For all Trump's bluster, as many people say, he can be a blustery fellow. But when it comes down to it, when it's time, when he's got to make the sale, he will throw in, I know how you feel. He will throw in, I hear you, in his own way. He didn't say it like that, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? He knows when to throw a little sweet, a little sugar.
You don't think being Baphomet is sweet enough? What can be unburdened by what has been? You never notice that? She points up when she says what has been, and she points down with her other hand when she says what could be.
Damn.
Look at, check this out. I don't think she wants to actually get on a debate stage. I think they're
Hell
doing
no.
everything. I think they're doing everything they can to get out of. They're trying to actually debate D Trump, because they're going to do it like they did last time, with like where they mute you when it's not your turn to talk.
Nah, they stopped that. So Trump's team likes that, right?
Yeah.
And Kamala's like, no, we need open mics at all time. So we can't. And now they're trying to spin it as if he is not like PC enough or political enough to be able to be presidential for 90 minutes.
Donald Trump knows, he likes the book The Art of War. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He understands that you have to let your enemy come in to surround them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if you act like you don't want that, reverse psychology, and they're like, okay, we need to get him with an open mic, and then he gets on that stage with an open microphone, and he's
Right.
able to roast her for 90 minutes straight, talk over her and control the conversation. It's over with, dude. That's what I think. That would be my thought behind it. Like, I don't think that he cares whether or not. Really, he said in an interview, I don't care, we could do whatever, but last time worked out fine with
Right.
it being muted. So
So
whatever
is she going to debate him? Is that still on the table? Or because Quentin Tarantino went on Bill Maher. I don't know if you guys saw that. And Bill Maher was saying she needs to do like Trump and RFK are doing, get out there, talk to the people, shake babies, all that whole thing.
Shake babies, kiss hands.
Yeah, kiss hands and shake babies. And Tarantino was like, hell no. He was like, if you're a Democrat, you want to win, she needs to pull the old Joe tactic from 2020 and disappear until election day.
Yeah, she needs to shut the fuck up is what she needs to do. Because she needs to ride the wave of the successful DNC shit by getting people to perform and making people think people like Beyonce and shit are going to show up and making that shit get full. She needs to ride that high, because the more that she says shit and the more that people see her in places, the more you realize it's like,
right,
she's just completely lost. She's not in tune with reality whatsoever. And
right.
I mean, people love to throw around the communist shit, and it really sucks that they did that, because now it's like the boy who cried wolf, and now people don't recognize communism when it's right in front of their fucking face.
Her dad was a Marxist. Like, he literally,
bro, that what can be unburdened by what has been is a fucking Marxist incantation.
yo, have you seen the fucking Nazi slogan that they've been using? Oh, I need to find it, dude.
What's the slogan?
I'm gonna find it.
While he's finding that, for anybody out there who may be listening, watching, et cetera, first thing is, y'all should already be liking this show. All right, y'all should already be commenting, subscribing, retweeting, wherever you're watching this, whatever is going on, you need to be doing that stuff. So go ahead and do that, and it helps us out, helps us grow the channel. Share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to do our thing over here on the Goat Show, and we want to grow, and we want to bring y'all with us on this whole adventure and journey. And for any of you on X, if you're enjoying our discussions about free speech, highly recommend that you head over to @thegoatshow_pod on X. We dropped an X exclusive episode called, it's on Freedom Fridays. It's a Freedom Friday episode. It's something that we'll be doing more often in the future. But basically, we go off. It's on X. Sorry, YouTube. We like YouTube. All right, we do. I like YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. But some things on YouTube get a little too spicy.
We say shit like
all
Yeah.
kinds of crazy stuff. You see us at our most free over on X. So definitely hop over there, follow us, and that episode is pinned on our X profile. And let us know what you think. Maybe you'll be offended. Maybe you're offended by what we said. Let us know what you think.
I hope you are.
If you are, then you're gonna make a perfect customer for our business idea. So
Yeah,
That's right. Watch the episode to find out what the business idea is for
That's right.
everybody who's offended.
yes, we have an amazing business idea. Let us know what you think about it, whether we should pursue it, maybe invest in a new business venture. But that's only on X, on the X episode, Freedom Fridays. Go check it out. It's pinned to our profile. Deezy, what do you have for us?
I'm trying to find a video of her saying it first.
Nah, fuck it. What's the quote?
Yeah, what's the quote? Don't worry about the video.
The quote is strength through joy. And
Oof.
it was a German operated leisure organization in Nazi Germany, part of the German Labor Front.
Damn.
It was used to ease the process of rearmament of Germany.
Nobody thought to take that statement and drop it into the internet.
No, she went into ChatGPT and said, "What is the most communist thing we could say?" And he
What's the
goes-
most secretly
and Chat
communist?
goes, "Well, if you want to be a Nazi, here you go."
Listen. I'm not saying that the validity of that is true, but I've been seeing it pop up on my TL a
No,
lot.
I've seen it too. I've seen her say that shit.
To be fair, like, what was the other? Because I can never say it right. What was the previous slogan? To be unburdened by.
What can be unburdened by what has been?
Damn, Fresh. You're better than me at saying that shit.
I know, bro. They better fucking shoot you a message campaign fucking organizer right here.
Dog, I'll tell you something. Before this episode, I knew we were going to talk about this, and I sat and I looked at it and I said it like 1,700 times because
Oh shit! You said it in the mirror, and a fucking Kamala ghost
Kamala's-
popped up out of nowhere.
she's here.
Like, shut up behind you and started cackling.
Holy fuck.
All right. Well, to be fair, that slogan a little hard to say for dummies like me.
With strength and joy, though?
Strength and joy that's tight. I got to be honest, Deezy. You know, change. What was Obama? Change and he had something else.
You don't even remember. Don't even
Right.
remember.
Strength
Not
and
even that good.
joy.
Yeah,
Strength
bro.
and-
Listen,
You know, I take it
I'm
back.
gonna
I
tell
take
you
it back.
something, bro.
I take it
These
back.
Nazis, they might have been fucking evil, but their marketing top notch,
Bro.
bro. Hugo on the fucking on the drip on the sauce.
Goebbels on the film front. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, bro. Like, listen, again, I'm not saying that they were right by any means, but
Right.
they had the
They knew
sauce, bro.
propaganda, man.
Uh-huh.
They knew propaganda. Let's just give it up for them for that. I toast to that. I'm a toast.
Listen,
to
I'll
that.
toast to their propaganda. Fuck it.
Toast to the art,
Uh-huh.
the skill set. That's what we're talking
Absolutely.
about here.
Absolutely.
Good marketing.
Yeah, listen, it's part of the art of marketing, is part of the art of war, no?
Hey, listen, you should always study the best. You should study the greats, no matter who they are. So there you go. But strength through joy. I think, you know what, to be fair, okay, I take everything back. I actually take everything I just said back. They did their homework. They found who the greatest marketers were. Okay. And they figured out one of the statements that they didn't quite use that often. That was a banger. And they appropriated it, and now they're using it. I think this is going to change the tide for the Democrats. That's all. That's what I'm thinking.
You do like the imitate then innovate, right? Like, you do
Yeah.
like that. So, I mean, I guess they're in the imitate stage. It's just who
And-
they're imitating is fucking wild.
They're imitating, and then the innovation is that they're dog whistling who they would say the Trump people would be dog whistling. Now they're dog whistling. So all the whistles be blowing for these dogs. You know what I'm saying? I got to give credit. Whoever's running that campaign, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're going to steal some
They
votes.
definitely know what they're doing because they're making it look like she's winning, right?
Right.
And listen, I don't talk to anybody that's just one side of anything. And I don't
Right.
know anybody that's voting for her. I have yet to talk to somebody and they're like, yeah, I'm voting for her.
But it could be one of those things where it's the silent voter, right? that they don't want to admit that they're voting for? Because
Bro, I think it's too far left for the center leaning, man. The middles are not gonna go that far left. Like, this is the problem. The right hasn't moved. The right, the conservatives are still the conservatives. If anything, they've come more left.
right, for sure.
So the centers are gonna lie with the rights because the
Right.
left has gone full fucking communist.
The right of my youth in the 80s was the Christian evangelical, socially conservative types that didn't want to see, they were the ones that put the parental advisory sticker on
We
the
don't want to see
boxes.
an ankle. We don't want to see a shoulder. You know what I mean?
mean,
Like, it's
that's
like that.
that's like old school. That's like
Yes.
Victorian era, bro. But still,
Yes.
yeah. To be fair, yeah, church lady. That's what
Mhm.
Dana Carvey used to make fun of her. That is the quintessential, conservative of my childhood. And there are a
And
few of
now
those
they've
still
come
left.
this way. They've come way to the left to meet the people in the center because, again, this is far right. But I would say
Right.
that the far right of today is more left leaning than the old liberals. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, old school liberals and current
Yeah.
right wing extremists are like really close, and I really think that the current right is more left than the old school liberals.
Yeah,
I mean,
right wing today is like, you can be gay, just leave my kids alone. And it used to be, you can't be gay, you need to pray it away.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
Pray the way.
now they're like, whatever, just so I can leave me out of it. Like, that's
Right.
kind of where the right wing is today. You know, like,
I mean, listen, when you can have OnlyFans influencers, you're definitely not the old school right. you are the new right, whatever that even means today. I don't even,
Oof, the new right.
the new right.
yeah, that's a little too close to something else.
Mhm.
All right. Well, listen, one thing that for sure I think has kind of been, was an old school conservative. Then you had the Reagan conservatives who were like the new old school conservatives of the evangelical right. And then it's kind of bounced back in certain ways. But anyway, one of the most important things that the right embraces now that the left does not seem to embrace as much is free speech. And now that the left has kind of gone this Marxist route, it seems like, and this is across the world. It's not just in the United States. I think across the world this has been the case. Not only have they just gone against kind of freedom ideas, but they are embracing totalitarianism either through corporations or through government. Now it seems like that's what the left is about. And if it's not about that stuff, it's about this weird stuff related to gender and race and all that kind of stuff. It seems like that's what they're embracing now. And I think it's starting to get to a place where they don't care. They're straight up ready for totalitarianism. And I think a recent example of this that happened over the weekend was the arrest of none other than Pavel, I believe it's pronounced Pavel Durov. He is the CEO of a little old app called Telegram. 100 million users last they checked.
30 employees.
30 employees, which I want to get into that because this guy is
banger.
He's a badass. He really is a badass leader and CEO. And
Telegram is the best comms app in my opinion. I prefer it out of all of them.
Yeah, in terms of user experience, which me being a designer type, I've always felt like Telegram had the best user experience by far of anything. I would say better than Twitter, better than any other social network. It's like I would say just purely from user experience, I would say Telegram and Instagram are the cleanest. But Telegram's the most fun and the most interesting, and they're constantly updating that app and producing new features and all kinds of stuff. So shout out Telegram, toast to Telegram. And I also want to toast Pavel for leading that company. And we'll talk more about his leadership style because I think that's really important. But just to put a period on sense in terms of what happened to him over the weekend, there's a lot of speculation that maybe he was honey trapped. Maybe this was an op that was done to him. But basically, I believe he was in Azerbaijan. I don't even know where that is on a map. I don't even know if I know where I can point that out on the map. I'm an ignorant American. I don't know where all these Middle Eastern countries be. But anyway, Azerbaijan, he was there, I guess, on business or something, maybe pleasure. I don't know. And for whatever reason, his plane went to Paris, France. And therein lies the problem, because he was immediately on the tarmac before he even got out of the plane of his private jet. They arrested him. And today they revealed the charges against him, which is essentially anything on Telegram that could possibly be a concern, whether it was terrorism, communications, child pornography, anything like that. Oh, you have it up, Deezy? All right. What are they saying this guy did? What are they saying he did? Is that one? Or I think that's probably in French. But as far as I understand, anything that you could accuse someone. Oh,
They said he's complicit in an online platform, mastering an online platform, enabling illegal transaction in an organized group, refusal to communicate at request of competent authorities for information or documents necessary for carrying out and operating interceptions allowed by the law, possessing images of minors, distributing, offering, or making available images of minors in organized group, acquiring, transporting, possessing, offering, or selling narcotic substances, offering, selling, making available without legitimate reason equipment, tools, programs, or data designed for or adopted to get access to and damage the operation of an automated data processing system, organized fraud, laundering proceeds derived from organized group offenses,
Bro, what?
all kinds of stuff. Just
So
like
anything that ever happened on his app, he's getting blamed for.
or could happen. Because
What in the 1984 is that?
I
What
mean,
the fuck are we talking about? What could happen?
yeah, tell me that doesn't happen right now on any of those social media apps right now. X, Facebook, Instagram,
right.
You
Snapchat.
want to know where it gets fuzzy though? If Telegram has servers, like, so for example, when I sent you guys the book, right?
Mhm.
Did that book get saved to Telegram? Because if it got saved to Telegram, they are in possession of child porn then.
I don't know how. I don't know how Telegram stores what it has on their servers. But here's the thing: my understanding, though, of social networks, at least in the United States, is that there's a certain level of immunity to that.
It says that Telegram records and stores user data for up to 12 months, including IP and device information.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't think that there's a reasonable way to monitor what is going on this type of a platform. I think that,
Right.
however, if the authorities were to contact you and say, this person with this IP, with this information is doing this, I think that you should be checking. Your people should be checking. And if they are doing this, then I think that morally you should be turning them in. However, I don't know where that line is for me, because like I just feel that stuff involving children is so egregious that everybody should be turning them in, right? But like I also don't believe that like they should be able to get, oh, if you're selling drugs, like I don't think they should be able to get that information from Telegram.
Well, okay, so there are a couple of things here that I wonder about. I don't know the answers to, that maybe we can do a little research on. But the first thing is, my understanding of social networks is that there is a certain level of immunity, right? You're, at least in the United States, you're either a publisher or you're not. And you have to do a certain number of things to become a publisher, for which you are then liable for whatever you publish. And the agreement with the social networks way back when was that, hey, we're not publishers. This is a place for other people to do things. If there is something troublesome that's on the platform, it's on whoever's whoever is prosecuting, whether it's the government or private, corporations or whatever, it's on them to say, hey, here's something that's going on. It's a problem. They bring it to the attention of the social network, and then the social network takes action in accordance with the law to do whatever needs to be done, whether it's taking it down and then providing the information, the data to the government or whatever. So my understanding with Telegram would be that if someone is, say, posting inappropriate material with minors or whatever, that would be discovered, and then they would be sent a request from whatever government that is planning to prosecute, and they would legally ask for that access to that so that they can then run their investigation or whatever it is. So I think with what's going on here, I don't see that this is a personal accusation against him and he is personally doing these things, and they're prosecuting for that. From what I'm seeing, and I don't know if they specify it in the document, I don't think they do. They are just simply saying you are complicit in all of these things because they happen on this platform. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys
So
think
is
about
it you're complicit, and how do we rectify it? Or
They gave him the Ross treatment, the
Mm.
fucking Ulbricht treatment from Silk Road.
And I don't know how French law operates, or how EU law actually, right? It's all EU. I don't know how EU law operates with these social networks. I know that they've been going after Elon and sending him
I
nice
mean,
letters.
I'm sure it's fucked up.
Yeah, or vague, purposefully vague, so that they can use lawfare to try and get this guy.
And anything that's like to do with the crown, so anything like British or British associated is super Orwellian now.
Yeah.
Like, this is why there's those Blade Runners in the UK and shit like that, because it's just total surveillance. You're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to think anything. But you want to immigrate and take all kinds of money from our country, sure.
Yeah, they're being selective with who they prosecute, being lenient with certain groups and not so much with other groups. So, I mean, my thought on this whole deal is that we're in the last 2 months of the U.S. election. A lot of people use Telegram to share information that is not. It's really Telegram and X, I think, where people are sharing the most amount of information. I would say probably in support of Trump or on the right, and maybe they're trying to maybe even temporarily throw a wedge in Telegram, or throw a wrench in Telegram, and mess things up. I don't know, but it just seems like I don't know. This seems a real violation of, I guess, human rights by any standard, and hopefully he's got. I mean, I'm sure he's got good legal representation, and they'll be fighting this in the courts. But while they're fighting in the courts, I'm really curious to see if they keep him behind bars, or what happens. But I guess we'll find out.
I mean, if they don't keep him behind bars, he's gonna cut. He's out. He's too rich now, right? Like, how much money does Telegram make?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
Because is he rich?
I'm sure he's rich because there's only 30 people.
There.
Yeah, is there a number, an exact number we can find? I mean, he's definitely a billionaire, and there's only 30 people.
His net worth is $15.55 billion, bro.
Ah, dang.
Yeah,
So he's gonna have some good lawyers
again, bro.
Cheers.
Salute, bro.
Cheers. I'll do the little coffee action this time. Well, he was on Tucker. I think it's one of the few interviews directly with him. Was the one that Tucker Carlson did. And I think this guy's a badass. First of all of Telegram is 30 employees. And from my understanding, him and his brother are really the only two true Telegram employees. Everybody else kind of does these contests, these programming challenges, and that's how they get paid and how they get hired. So it's not, I don't think it's I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a centralized organization where there's like Telegram offices in one place and that's where all the employees are. I think these are individuals all over the world, and I think it's a really brilliant strategy where they solve problems and get paid on the basis of that. And so they get the best people. They don't get any slackers. They don't have any fat that they got to cut. These are the best people solving the hardest problems, and that's it. And I really want to learn more about that whole system. Pavel, listen, man, you can get yourself out of this little pickle you're in. I'd love to have you on the show. I'd love to ask you all these different methods for being hyper efficient and running a massive company and defending freedom. It'd be nice. But regardless, yeah, I mean, I think this guy's a great leader in terms of how he operates. He's smart, and from what I saw in the Tucker interview, I mean, he's a true defender of freedom. He really understands it and believes in it. So I hope that he can get himself out of this thing. But what do you guys think? I mean, I know you guys saw the interview. What's your impression of him?
I mean, I think that he's a G, and I think that this is the thing: is these are these people that are fighting for our freedoms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's hard not to respect a guy like that.
Yeah. I also like that that Telegram's a great app. I'm kind of mad because I like Telegram.
They better not fuck this up. Arresting him better not fuck this up.
If you make it so I can't send these super fun emojis in these group chats, so well animated and so entertaining.
If I can't send my 16 gig file to my friend, no problem, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yes, this is the truth. Deezy, what are you gonna miss about Telegram, bro, when they get rid of it?
Man, I use Telegram to message myself. The thing that I use Telegram the most for is to bring stuff off of my telephone to my computer.
Yes, and back.
Yes.
Back and forth. I agree.
Yes.
That's been, instead of like emailing it or anything, I just throw it on Telegram, open my Telegram app, and then download it. Boom.
Bro, not only is it good on the iPhone, okay, it's good on any computer. Every computer that I've ever used Telegram on, the desktop app is also great and pretty much equivalent to whatever you have on the iPhone. I mean, oh man, I don't want to pour one out for Telegram. It's not done yet. It still works.
No.
But we ain't pouring it out.
Telegram.
Cheers. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers
to Telegram. We're
to
toasting
Telegram.
a lot today.
Yes.
Toasting. I'm gonna toast you guys. Why the hell not? Let's just toast it up. You know what I'm saying? Toast to you, Deezy. All right.
Cheers to that.
Toast to us for using Telegram. We are Telegram. What's going on with this camera? We are Telegram users, so we toast it ourselves.
Cheers to that.
Felt good.
I don't think they'll shut it down.
I think they're gonna take it over, right?
Where's the brother?
Where is the brother?
Because there's two brothers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. What happens when you lock up this brother is you piss off the other brother, right?
Oh, shit.
So you thought you had no help before. Now don't even call them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Release my brother or don't even call me. We have nothing to talk about until you release bro.
I'm going to talk to Pavel, bro. I don't know what your name is, dude, but here's what you need to do. Stay where you are. It's Dubai, I think. Stay in Dubai.
His brother also has $15.5 billion, bro. So
we got double billies up in here.
They got $31 billion combined, bro.
All right, listen. So that's what I'm saying, Pavel, bro. All right, Durov, G. All right, stay put in Dubai. Do not travel to any other foreign country. All right, you're safe there. Second, make sure them billies have moved, ideally in crypto of some kind. I would recommend XRP. And then next, or Solana. XRP is Solana. Maybe Bitcoin. I don't have any Bitcoin. So just XRP or Solana. All right. And then the next thing is stay away from these honeypots, bro. Date you a good Muslim Dubai woman. All right. Don't go after these blonde, Russian honeypots. Got your bro.
They also started Ton, the blockchain, right? So
right. But I hear that it's getting smashed because of this. Well, maybe grab it now because, let's say he gets released.
Oh, buy the dip. Buy the dip. He will be home. He will be home. These are billionaires.
We buying the dip. We getting this ton money.
Yeah, I'm getting a ton of money now.
I think so, I'm going to buy a little bit because that'll happen. It might just be a whole nothing burger. It might be that they they threaten him, and he just goes, "Fine. Here's all the back doors, intelligence community. Just leave me alone." You know what I'm saying? And then he gets back on the scene, and that ton pops. So, not financial advice in any way whatsoever. You could lose everything that you ever owned if you invest in this. But on the flip side, throw a hundo in, get 1,000 back, maybe. I don't know. Can we 10x? You tell me, Deezy. You're the one all up in this. So,
I mean, if the crypto market actually succeeds and we see like 10, 15, 20, 30 trillion dollar market cap in the crypto market, I think that a lot of tokens will have their place and people can still make a lot of money.
I mean, I was listening to Alex Becker. He bullish. So, anyway, well, one thing I will say is hopefully everything turns out all right for both of these brothers. Hopefully Telegram doesn't become an instrument of the state. One thing I did think about though is maybe Elon hops in and provides some financial infusion, and maybe just grabs him some Telegram. I would love that. If they could take Telegram
Bro.
tech and put it in X, that would be the most killer freaking.
If Telegram was the messaging platform of X
Oof.
to complete like the WeChat bubble,
Oh my God, Fresh. You're making me touch myself. I might have to touch these nipples. I don't know. Sorry, DZ. I know I put you through that, but if seriously,
I'm just trying to imagine how it would work, if how they would
Mm.
integrate Telegram into X.
How it should work is you go to the DM part of X, and it goes switch to Telegram, and you hit it, and it just switches to Telegram. That would be it,
the DMs just is Telegram.
right?
They encode the DM to be Telegram.
Like you log into Telegram with your Twitter.
Right.
So no more X direct messages. It's just all a
All
Telegram.
fucking
Kill that
Telegram.
shit. Yeah, kill that
Fuck
Elon.
X direct messages anyways.
I know.
Worse. Like
Garbage.
again, other than Discord, I don't know, bro. Discord is also fucking horrendous.
Garbage.
But Discord and X both need to jump in the fucking lake as far as comms it goes.
I agree. 100%. Yeah, I really do think that if Elon bought Telegram, I don't know if they would, if they would do it, but if he bought Telegram, because it's only 30 employees that he's got to pay. So if they acquired Telegram and just left it be, like, you guys do your thing, you're protected by me, and then there was just, when you go to Twitter DMs, all it is a screen, and it just says switch to Telegram, and it automatically, you just sign in with Twitter on Telegram, and that's where all your DM conversations are and everything like that, man. And then if you post something in Telegram, it just automatically switches you back to X to do whatever it is, bro.
I mean, again, I don't know why the app even has to switch. When you go to messaging, it's just your Telegram messages.
Oh, right. You can just sign into Telegram in X.
Yeah. Because remember, his vision is WeChat from China. It's got payments, got everything. So you would just have a feed, right? Like you would have your chat thing the same, like Telegram would remain the same, but then you would have a couple more sections where you have the live feed and shit. And then you'd also have your wallet where you could make payments, and you know what I mean? The everything app coming soon.
I'm gonna add a little more. So Pavel, bro, listen, stay where you are, stay away from these honeypots. Make sure your money's safe. All right, and then when Elon calls, you know what to do, and that's it. And then we'll get your brother out. It'll be easy peasy. Everybody's happy. It's a good time. You know what I'm saying, Deezy? Feeling me, bro?
Dude, they're not going to get him on this. There's no way. There's going to be outrage. People are going to be pissed. Because if they could lock up a billionaire who created a game-changing application, then they can lock up anybody.
Yeah.
There's not a single person that they can't touch. He's got $15 billion to tell him to go fuck off, and still they're arresting him because he made it. He made something, and people are doing bad shit with it. Name a single tool ever made by anybody that hasn't been used for something bad. Besides maybe the toilet.
What are you talking about? You don't. High school bullies been fucking swirling kids forever, bro.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a single tool that hasn't been used by humans for negative things, bro.
Dog.
Right?
I want to do this exercise. Let's think deodorant. I'm looking at deodorant here on the table.
What do you mean? Sneak drugs out of the country in deodorant. You put your weed in multiple bags.
What do you mean? Big
catch you now.
Big Pharma's
motherfuckers be running up on the. Yeah,
dude,
oh yeah, Big Pharma
is killing us with deodorant. They're putting aluminum in that shit. It makes you smell good. Throw it under there. It's good for you. You know what I mean?
Killing motherfuckers for profit, right? And the motherfuckers be running up on you like, doing that shit. Deodorant's dangerous, bro.
I don't know. Toothpaste, bro. They got the fluoride in there. Got to give you your steady dose of fluoride. You know?
Yeah.
And they just came out and said that fluoride lowers IQ points, so can't call them conspiracy theories.
3 to 5 points, it lowers your IQ. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you know what they said also? And this is why the Indians are doing better. No offense to anybody, any race, but apparently turmeric neutralizes parasites and that type of stuff. So
I believe it, dude. All of the current medicines that we use are derived from fucking natural sources or natural ideas. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, this chemical composition does this to the body, but maybe if we just tweak it around a little bit, it'll still kind of do this, but it'll also have this effect that we want. Like we take chemicals.
Bro, a lot of those chemicals come from those plants, bro.
Yeah,
exactly, bro.
It's just it's the processing it that makes it fucked up, and it's the other shit they put in with it. But yeah, I mean,
just getting back to the platform thing, like there hasn't been a single thing made by a person, even if it was revolutionary, that hasn't been used for bad things.
Right.
And you don't like the creator of the toilet's not getting fucking obviously it's a long time ago. They're probably dead. I'll have to figure that out. But like name something that people are currently getting like beat with or tortured with or being used against people in malicious ways, and are they prosecuting every single person that's invented something that is being used maliciously?
Right.
You know, like no, you're just doing this guy because it's being used in a way that you don't like, which is not all this other shit, but politically, right? Because people are using it to share political stuff. And
so what I'm getting from this, Deezy, is you think that people are the problem and we need to get rid of the people.
No, I'm not on no Bill Gates shit, but I think that we need to understand that there's good and bad and good no matter what. Like it's just how it's going to be forever. And the best way we could do is try to educate and bring people to a more enlightened, positive mindset so that people don't feel the need to engage in negative stuff. But is it ever going to be completely eliminated? Not without complete control by a single party, and that will never happen. That will never happen without corruption.
But here's the thing. They won't eliminate it. They are just going to protect whatever they want to protect. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't actually care. Did you think these guys actually care about any of this stuff that they're prosecuting him over? No. If it was their guys doing it, and there has been, like, nobody ever said, I mean, we still don't know anything about Epstein's list.
Their guys are doing worse.
Whose cocaine was in the White House?
Look at me in my eyes. Who is on the list?
I do want to party with Hunter Biden. I think that'd be fun. But anyway, back to the topic. No, I agree with you.
Wait, before you move on, I agree with you. But here's the other thing: Hunter Biden, I don't believe is like a lefty. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, okay.
I don't
speak on it.
I don't. Well, I mean, listen, he does some creepy shit. He does some fucked up shit. But I think he'd be fun to party with. And I don't believe he subscribes to what they're making you subscribe to.
The wokeism agenda. Maybe that's why he's a drug. Maybe that's why he's a drug addict, because he's surrounded by all these people that are trying to force him to be fucking like a transsexual black lady.
But here's the thing: I don't think the Bidens are with any of that shit. I think it's pure lip service that they got to do, and they got to hold their nose.
There's video evidence of Joe Biden talking about fucking gay people, bro. Okay, like
and black people.
We're talking about white people who like have a ranch and shit, dog. You think that, like, come on?
If you be owning a ranch, you ain't with the progressive agenda.
Yeah, I don't believe you're flying a rainbow flag at your ranch.
Listen, if you're a rancher out there and watching this and you fly the rainbow flag, take a picture and send it to us on X. I want to see this. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. I'm out here in Florida. We got horse ranches and all kinds of stuff. Orange, what do you call it? Orchid, whatever. I ain't seen nothing.
Orchards.
Orchards?
Is that what we call them?
Yes.
I ain't seen none of these orchards out here with these rainbow flags. Again, nothing wrong with, the rainbow. Just keep it to yourself and keep it away from kids. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the only thing, love whoever the fuck you want to love, unless they're children. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And keep it undercover. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old school 80s conservative. All right, guys. I don't want to see it out in these streets. All right. I don't want to see nothing out in these streets. I don't want to see hoochie mamas bopping their booties. I want to see none of that. I want good Christian folk doing good Christian things. Deezy, cover up those tats. All right. I don't want to see them.
I'm gonna start wearing shirts that are like pro cisgender. I don't even know how to fucking like.
What the fuck is that, bro?
I know. I'm just trying to put it in lingo that the
Yo, you guys never seen it? It's semi-bisexual, bro. That's what it's called.
semi-bisexual.
Yes, bro.
Semi-bisexual.
That's what it's there, bro. They're trying to put straight people in the flag, and they're calling it semi-bisexual.
Why?
I don't fucking know, bro. Because everybody's got to be down with the sickness, baby.
What?
See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I don't even care at all. We make these jokes. All right, they're called jokes. People, sensitive people out there, stop being sensitive.
Oh, you were joking?
It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Oh, I didn't know we started the joke part yet of our show. Sorry.
It's all serious on this show, of course, all the time. But I'm just saying, listen, I got gay friends, whatever.
Absolutely.
Occasionally, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Occasionally, what?
I got trans friends.
Billy?
Trans friends
Hold on,
occasionally.
Whoa. Occasionally what?
Once in a while.
Billy? Once in a while, what?
It's not gay if it's once in a while. All right, I'm just saying. That's just my policy. You don't have to agree with it.
Yikes.
So
ZiLLY says
I just think you should keep it secret.
It's only gay if you make eye contact.
He said, "I'm not gay. My boyfriend is."
I agree with Deezy. It's only gay if you stare longingly into each other's eyes.
I'm not gay. My boyfriend is. That's funny.
Listen, gays, it's more exciting when that shit was secret and that shit was like, against the grain and punk rock. You know what I'm saying? You knew it was
Did you
more
just
exciting.
say, "Listen, gays"?
Bro, back in the day, dude, they just would join the Navy, and get.
Bro, pirates were gay as hell, man. No joke. Back in the 1800s, 1700s, where could you go where there be nothing but men and you're isolated and there ain't no government around you, no Christians around you? You'd be hopping on that freaking Mayflower.
Bro, I'll tell you where. Ancient Greece. Nowhere is gayer than ancient Greece. Bro, guys would be like, "Yeah, all right, Fatima, I'm going to the bathhouse," and go fuck their buddy rather than fuck their wife. Like, it's weird as fuck. It's the gayest of all gay times. Most definitely.
Bro,
They were having a big gay party in Greece.
I feel like it's almost we've almost evolved to that. Like that's kind of where we're at now in society. We're like two jumps and a skip away from that. I mean, go to a pride parade.
I mean, here's the thing though. The Greeks, it's kind of a trade-off. On the one hand, these Greeks be running around. They definitely, their wives were for the cooking and to make sure the slaves did what they did, and the men were for the banging in Greek times, no doubt.
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah, that's more extreme than what we have today. On the other hand, they didn't really. I don't know if they had parades. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because it wasn't their boyfriend. They were pretending they weren't in love, but like bro, there's no way you're telling me you're not in love with this guy because you would rather butt.
But
Yeah, you would rather butt.
But what?
You have a woman at home,
Right.
but you would rather butt. That's obviously love. What else does that?
That's fucking weird. Dude, I don't care what people do with their life, but I shouldn't have to be a part of it, right?
There you go. Live and let live was the
Yeah.
old saying. So I don't know.
Like,
All right, gays.
just-
Listen, I'm sorry, gays. I'm sorry, tees. You know, if I offended you. But
it's not even gays, bro. Just like, if you want to smoke crack, do it, but I don't have to be a part of it, bro. Stay away from me with that shit. You know what I mean?
right, bro. Listen, I don't like these Pajeets out here eating this curry in front of me. Listen, from one Pajeet to another, keep that shit behind closed doors. All right. That's our thing. We do it behind closed doors. We don't eat out or go to an Indian restaurant, sure, but I don't want you going into Taco Bell. Your kids eating the Taco Bell, and then you're bringing your own, Indian food there and eating your own Indian. My mom used to do that.
What?
When I was a kid, man. We would, because my grandparents were around, so we would go to, we go to like McDonald's or something, and me and my brother would eat McDonald's, but the grandparents and all that. So my mom would bring like a separate freaking containers of Indian food, and I always felt weird about it, man. As I should.
It is weird.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't.
That's why they started putting no outside food or drink on fucking.
Yes. I
outside.
always wondered, like, who the fuck was going to KFC and bringing
Us.
food? This is where you go to get food, bro.
We were doing it.
Why? I don't
Now
get it. It doesn't make sense.
Now we know the reason for that sign.
Because these Indian grandparents didn't want to assimilate. You know what I'm saying? Actually, that's not true. My grandmother loves KFC. So she definitely, and she loves it. So she definitely assimilated. She didn't just assimilate into American culture. She assimilated into Black culture. So you got to give her credit. You know what I'm saying?
Is she a fan of Popeyes at all or no?
I don't think she's had Popeyes yet. I should get some and see which one she likes better, KFC or Popeyes. Fresh. Do we have to cut this part of the episode out and make it the next Freedom Friday?
your grandma, yo.
What did I lie? What lies have been told? Tell me.
Your grandma is Kamala Harris.
Oh my gosh. That's fighting words. I'm coming to Arizona right now.
She
get my ass kicked by Deezy because I'm not really a fighter, but I
don't know, bro. It's like completely different weight classes and shit. Like, I'm not saying you can't fight Deezy. I'm just saying, like,
we said I'm fat as fuck. Is that what you're saying?
No,
I'm too fat to fight Deezy.
No, you're like fucking 6 inches taller than him or more.
Oh damn, Deezy.
Right? Like, how tall are you?
No, listen, he's got skills. He knows how to. He knows how to.
I'm 5'9".
He knows how to look at the chest.
4 inches taller than you.
You look at the chest right there.
I'm 180 pounds.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking eat you.
No,
bro.
I don't know how to fight.
I doubt that, bro. I literally trained with heavyweights. That's like my. Yeah. I would train with someone his size. That's normal for me.
Yeah, there's a thing called skill, and haven't been hit before. Which
you've never been hit?
Have I been hit? I think once I got hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to your brother about this. Why he never beat you up?
He did beat me up a lot. So I've taken that part of my life and repressed it.
Yeah,
and shoved it into a deep hole for which I will never access it. Thanks, Fresh, re-traumatizing me.
No problem. Anytime.
Now I got to go get ketamine therapy. Is it ketamine or ketamine?
Ketamine.
You should. My mom hit me, so I just turned that aggression into, combat sports.
I will say this. I have one regret. In my life that I feel like I should have done. So when I was in 8th grade, I got picked on a lot because I was a weird kid. I deserved to get picked on. I was weird. But a lot of it was just insecurity. You're whatever. You're at, young adolescent.
You're young. You don't even
helicopter parents, young adolescent. Yeah. So I took as an, where I went to school, you had to have like an afternoon activity. Bourbon up some coffee here. You had to have an afternoon activity where I went to school. So I took karate, martial arts. I enjoyed it, and it really helped build a lot of confidence in me. I wasn't taking no shit anymore. And then I dropped it. I don't know why I did that. I should have I think it was because of art. You could either choose between taking karate or you could take an afternoon art course or some shit, and I took the art stuff. So I don't know, something like that happened and I stopped doing it, but I kind of wish I had stuck with it and kept doing it because I did enjoy it and it did help. I do have an aggressive side, believe it or not, fellas. Once in a while, old ZiLLY here wants to go bitch slap him.
Now I definitely think you would knock him out, Deezy.
Do you have a bag or anything at your gym?
No, well, maybe Gainesville. I shouldn't say where I live. Cut that part.
Docs, bitch.
You've said it like 900 times, but
have I? Okay, never mind. Yeah, y'all know I live in Gainesville. But you don't know which Gainesville though.
North Carolina.
Unless you watch all the episodes. I think there may be, and I have to check. It's a big gym and it has a lot of different things, so I'll have to look in there and see if there's a punching bag.
Go to Orlando just for the gym.
Yeah, but I got to get that TRT therapy first. Get that TRT, build these muscles.
No, you don't, bro. Then you're gonna need it forever.
You don't need TRT, dude.
Turn the freaking Macho Man, Randy Savage, that type of shit.
Oh my god,
bro. You're Indian. There's always a spice or an herb for it, dog.
Bro, you seen these Bollywood stars now? They're all
and you think
out,
they're
bro.
on replacement? No. Their fucking grandmother tells them, yo, use this spice with this herb and drink it every day in the morning. And then they're like, yeah, I'm yoked. Yes.
From
bro, don't tell me. That's where fucking people go from around the world to get that fucking medicine.
I gotta get on that spice regimen, is what you're saying. The proper
There's
spice.
some kind of fucking something for it. Trust me.
That horny goat weed, bro.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
bro, dude, lion's mane. You could just take natural supplements. You don't need no fucking TRT.
Well, maybe we'll be working on something like that soon. Just maybe.
Some natural testosterone enhancers.
Okay.
I'm down for the cause.
Okay. Well, pretty soon we'll see.
Deer antler velvet too. That's another one that they use. Yep, deer antler velvet. Not that I know anything about, testosterone.
Wait, velvet is what part of the antler?
I don't know. The inside.
Deezy, you always taking drugs on the sly, man. Damn.
I'm not taking
taking drugs on the
supplements.
All right, let's get back on track.
Not evaluated by the FDA. It's not a drug. Okay, chill out.
Bringing it way back to Mr. Durov here, brother. Hang tight. Okay, you may get some help coming your way. Not from us. We can't do shit. We don't even know anything. But maybe Elon will step in. Maybe your brother will step in. Maybe the whole world decrying this egregious violation of human rights. Maybe that'll do something to help get your brother free or get you free. Sorry. So just hang in there, brother. But with that, I do want to say that I feel like a lot we can all learn from, regardless of what's going on with this whole situation. We can learn from him in terms of his skill set, his demeanor. If you watch him on Tucker, very impressive dude. He's a G. He's a gangster. And I think if there's somebody to aspire to as a CEO, he's definitely one of those that I think if you're an entrepreneur of any kind, watching how he operates, very impressive and something to learn from. On the flip side, there are certain CEOs that in my opinion, but we'll discuss this because I think this is going to be a good debate. In my opinion, there are certain CEOs you should not follow. And one of those CEOs is the former CEO of Starbucks. Now, and I can't remember his name. If somebody can look that up real quick. But this guy,
that's his goofy of the week.
He's the goofy of the week, I think. I don't know. We may disagree on this, but he basically there's a show called the All In Podcast. Maybe some of you listeners are familiar with it. Jason Calacanis, Chamath Palihapitiya, what's his name? Two other dudes. they're all Silicon Valley, CEOs at different points and current CEOs. And they have this really great podcast called the All In Podcast. And they brought up this issue of the Starbucks CEO being fired. They talked at length about what's going on with Starbucks, which is interesting, and I recommend it, and we'll put it in the notes, but is not something that we need to talk about here. But one thing that they did talk about was a video of the CEO. And essentially in the video, what he says is that when 6 p.m. rolls around in the workplace, he outie. He don't want to hear nothing from nobody. He's on his way home. He's ready to hang with the fam, and that's it until the next workday.
His name is Laxman Narasimhan.
Laxman Narasimhan.
See? He's Laxman. I fucking knew it. Not a businessman is his last name. That's crazy. Bro. You can't be a CEO and say after 6, don't hit me. Do you think you're a fucking drug kingpin?
Okay, so let's talk about it. So you believe Fresh. And I believe the same thing. I think that when you're a CEO, I wouldn't even just say a CEO. When you're a leader of anything, of any kind of enterprise, and that can be a company, or it could just be, a movement, or maybe whatever. If you're a leader of something, my automatic assumption is that you are on call 24/7. If you are the leader of that thing, the leader.
To somebody. If you're the leader, you're on call to whoever is directly above you at all times, or below you, at all times.
At all times.
You know what I mean? So
right.
That's just what it is. You are meant to lead this shit.
Yeah.
The only time, so what? You're saying that at 6, it falls to the person below you, and too bad. Who gives a fuck? That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. Right. The buck stops with you. You're supposed to be in the trenches.
Yeah. And I can understand if you have a hierarchical structure where, I wouldn't want every employee in the entire company coming up to me and after 6 p.m. That I can understand. But in terms of you have VPs, the people around you, the executives around you, you're telling me that at 6 p.m. they can't contact you, or after 6 p.m. until 8 a.m. or whenever the workday starts the next day. It's a no contact time period. First of all, I don't believe it. I don't believe that the CEO of Starbucks does not receive any communiques about Starbucks between 6 p.m. and 9 a.m. the next day. There's just there's no freaking way.
So you think it was thinking he was doing lip service?
I think it's lip service.
But it's not actually lip service, but he's trying to, right? Because also that's not relatable to who he's talking to and who he's trying to appeal to. It's not relatable. It's actually not relatable to anybody. So it's like a hit and a miss, right?
Most people, I don't know. What do you think, Deezy? Because most people, even if they work a normal job, some people are really I'm out at 5, whatever. I'm out the door. Don't talk to me.
And those people never go anywhere in their jobs.
Right.
If there's something that comes up, listen, you shouldn't be being taken advantage of either, right? By your job, where they're just making you do shit and they're not paying you and whatever. But it doesn't mean you're not available. How many people pick up shifts for people? You know what I'm trying to say? It's the same shit. It's the same concept. You make yourself available because this is work. And now when it's your business, or you have a greater stake in the business, then you should be doing that more, not less. If you expect that of your people working at the ground level, that better be because you give that. And so again, who are you talking to and who are you trying to appeal to when you say this shit? Because the people who work under you don't have that privilege.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so what he actually said was, here's his exact quote. Took me a little bit to find it. He said, "I'm very disciplined about balance. If there's anything after 6 p.m. and if I'm in town, it's got to be a pretty high bar to keep me away from my family. Anybody who gets a minute of time after that, just make sure that it's important. Because if it's not important, it'll wait for another day." But I think that that's a fair thing to say as a CEO. Like, your time is important, and like after 6 p.m., like, look, I'm technically off, but if I need to handle it, if it's something that I need to handle, obviously it's important, right? Then contact me. But maybe it's to say, like, don't, if there's somebody else that you can contact that's going to help you with this, it's not a CEO's job.
Okay, bro, he's not saying this at a fucking meeting though, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not saying this at his local meeting. Who the fuck you talking to at this point? Why are you saying this right now?
It was an
Nobody's
interview.
yeah, but exactly. So why? Who are you showing off to that? Oh, you better not call me after 6 because I'm the big CEO. Like, it doesn't need to be said. You know you're the CEO. Everybody knows the same shit. You don't contact the CEO unless it's serious business.
Well, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Deezy, in the sense of there are certain things that
He's not saying don't contact me, I'm not getting back to you after 6 p.m. He's saying, like, there, I don't know if you know the scale of like urgent, important, and like how urgent something can be and how important something can be and where they fall. Like, immediate can wait, uh, like how, where things fall. Saying if it's 6 p.m., it needs to be urgent and immediate and important. Like,
He's a CEO.
I get it. I get it. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate there. Like, hey,
Bro, but like in the job title of CEO, it means that that's what you're there to deal with is really important shit. You're the CEO of Starbucks. I don't think you need to explain that nobody calls you when the ice machine's not making ice. You know what I'm trying to say? I just think it's condescending, and who the fuck are you appealing to? Because the people that you work with don't, like, again, the people underneath you do not have that. It's not the same for them. At 6 p.m., if it's urgent or not, they don't get to be like, well, I turn it off and I'm with my family and whatever. If they don't do it, they might not have a job. But you as a CEO have this fucking privilege of sitting up on your high horse and being like, after 6, don't call me unless it's super important. You don't need to say it. You're not talking to your employees. You're doing an interview.
yeah, well, maybe no, I don't know. Maybe I should listen to this whole interview and see if there's more context to what they asked him, because maybe they asked him about his work. How does he keep a work-life balance? And he said something along the lines like, I am disciplined about balance. After 6 p.m., I try to tune out. And if there's anything important, obviously I'm there. But otherwise, just after 6, I'm out. But the thing is, though, if he expects more from his employee, is different, right? Like, if his immediate under can't do the same thing unless he's specifically contacting them, if his immediate managers can't do the same thing, then that's not fair, right? That's kind of what you're getting at, Fresh, right? Like, pyramid scheme, he's at the top,
Yeah.
whip, whip, whip,
Yeah,
everyone else do
exactly.
the
And he's
work.
like, 6 o'clock, I'm out. And again, we know you're the CEO, so we know you're out, right? We get it. At 6, you are out. You clock out. And unless something is really important, we're not going to call you. However, you're kind of explaining that you're a CEO and how you're a CEO in an interview for no reason.
yeah, I mean,
I see what you're saying.
I definitely feel that there's a couple layers to this thing. The first layer for me is establishing company culture, right? I personally feel like in any company that I'm in, and I think Deezy are a little bit blurred out here. Um, I think in any company that I would be a part of, I want everybody to be in it. I've been in companies where everybody isn't in it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't want to go that extra mile. And me personally, as someone who, if I may toot my own horn, I'm that guy. Even when I was in companies where I had a boss or whatever, I would do shit that nobody would ask me to do, just because it's just the way I am. If I see that something is messed up, it just irks me. It bothers me. I have to go in and I gotta figure out if I can fix that thing. And I remember when I got my first job in advertising, where I'd be the only guy in the whole freaking building sometimes on a weekend, because there's something that I wanted to do, and need to design something or get something done, or I wanted to do research or whatever, and I would go in. You know what I'm saying? And not that everybody has to do that, but I don't know. I personally feel like if I'm involved in something, like, I mean, I'll say this with us, three of us, we put in the time, man. And we have lives, and we have other shit we got to do, and whatever. We take the time to do the things that we need to do in our lives. But I feel so great working with you guys, because I know, like, hey, if we got to get something done, we got to put in the time. Like, we will find it and we will do it. And if that means that, hey, every so often we got to go extra in terms of, um, whether it's effort or whether it's putting in actual time or have to stay up later or whatever, I feel good that the three of us are willing to do that in whatever way we can, and we'll figure it out. We got to grab dinner with the fam, we'll do that, but we'll figure out how to do it. I mean, like, even today, after we recorded this episode, we're going to do a bunch of shit, right? So I personally just feel that in any organization, I think for anybody in any organization, whatever work they're doing, I want them to go extra. And if they're not willing to do that, I really don't want to be a part of an organization that's like that. And I don't want anybody to be, if it's something that I'm doing, I don't want people to be involved in that. Now, that's within reason. Okay. And I feel like you do have to have those discussions in advance and say, okay, what is your availability? All this kind of stuff. But I think that, I don't know, that's the culture that I enjoy. That's the kind of work culture I enjoy. And maybe that would change if I had kids or something. I don't know. I don't have kids, but
As the CEO, if you said to me, 6 o'clock, I'm out, whatever, my first question to you is going to be, so who's the CEO after 6?
right.
Right? Because what the fuck are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, if something comes up, it doesn't matter how big or small this shit is. The buck stops with you, motherfucker. You can't be out.
Guys, I'm out. I'm out.
I think it was taken out of context, to be honest, because, like, even on his Wikipedia, it says he said it made headlines saying he never works past 6. And even in his sentence, he says, "And if I'm in town." So, like, he obviously works past 6, right? I think that his intention was, like, if I'm in the office, because the biggest thing about a CEO is, like, how often are you really even in the office? You're probably flying all over the goddamn place. You're constantly traveling. That's what I imagine a CEO would be doing, right? Like, so I think that what he was saying is, like, if there's anything after 6 and if I'm in town, it's got to be a high bar. So what, I don't know, maybe he's saying, like, I'm out flying, traveling, and working all the damn time. So when I am in town, I have a 6 p.m. so I can spend time with my family. Maybe that's what it is. My point is, I'm trying to get the context of what he was actually trying to say. I doubt that he never worked past 6 p.m. That would be a fallacy. Like, there's no way for 2 years that they allowed him to not work past 6. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure. But listen, I watched this shit. It's not that it was taken out of context. I think that he was just trying to appeal to somebody. Like, he thought that he was playing lip service. You know what I mean? And it's just that nobody relates to what he said.
No, not with, if you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars. People would be like, I'll do your job times 10 for what you're getting paid, bro. Like, tell me where to be and when to be there, and I'll fucking be there an hour early. Like, most people would be like, pay me $20 million. I'll fucking be the CEO of Starbucks and do whatever you need me to do. You know what I mean? And he's like, past 6. But fuck that. My wife's coming with me everywhere I go. She's part of the business now. She's my assistant. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would be. But
I think again, there are many layers to this thing, but for me, it's about zooming out, and I think it says something more, and they kind of talk about this on All In, which is the idea of American work culture, and the idea that, do we live in a society now where people value working and putting in that extra effort to do things, or is everything about, okay, I got this thing at this time, and if you don't, and if you're not ready to do whatever, blah blah, I'm out. You know, that's what I
immediate
sense.
gratification. It's
Immediate gratification.
gratification.
Well, and just a sense of not valuing productivity for its own sake. You know, if it's 5:59, let's say I work someplace and the policy is like work day is over at 6, okay, and it's like 5:55, and someone comes up to me and they're like, you know, hey ZiLLY, do you mind taking care of this thing, you know, before you head out of here? Blah blah blah. I'm at least gonna look at it and be like, listen, this thing is gonna take a lot of time to do. Is it urgent? Can this wait till tomorrow? And then first thing in the morning, I'll hop in. I'll even come back early. You know, I'll come back early in the morning, you know, and hop in. Or even like, hey, listen, I'm hungry as fuck right now. This isn't urgent. Let me go eat something. Let's meet back here at like 8 or 9. I mean, we're doing that tonight. You know, I'm gonna go eat something, and then after the show, we're gonna test out something, right? So to me, the idea of like at 5:55 going, you got 5 minutes. And then whatever this thing is, I'm not touching it till the next morning at 9. I don't know. There's something about that rubs me the wrong way. And I wouldn't want to be, for a CEO to say that, even if he's not doing that for real, but to say it out loud, I feel like that sets the impression that that's how all of Starbucks is going to operate. You know, if you're a barista and the place isn't quite clean yet, but it's 6 o'clock, guess what? You're not going to put in that extra 10 minutes to make sure everything's clean in the thing. You're just going to hop out. And then we'll do it in the morning or something like that. There's just something about that I don't know, maybe it's a moral thing. I don't know really, or ethical. I don't know what rubs me the wrong way. Maybe you guys can describe it, but I just feel like we're living in a society where people do not want to put in that little bit of extra effort just for the sake of things being better, for things being cleaner. I know you don't own the Starbucks, but hey,
it's ethics.
Okay.
Because I think that it comes down to or morals, right? Because what is right on the inside? Like, what do you feel in your bones? You feel it's good to just walk away right now, leave everything on the table, especially from a CEO, right? But even from a worker's perspective, morally, the job's not done. You feel like it's okay to walk away because it's 6.
Right.
That's
right.
crazy. That's crazy to me. Like,
That's
and again,
what it is.
maybe that's coming from because the jobs that I've had were more hands-on construction type jobs, right? So maybe it's that where job not finished, we don't go home, right? Like you have a certain amount of things to do, then you do that. It doesn't matter about the time or whatever. So for me, if and that's the boss down to the littlest guy. You know what I mean? Everybody stays until it's done. So to me, it feels weird, and maybe that's it. Because morally, I think it's wrong. We have a job to do. You don't get to be like, oh well, 6 o'clock now, family time.
Yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say, Deezy? I know you're gonna say something, Deezy, about that, or I don't know if you had.
I said that I understand that. I mean, you know, I've managed a coffee shop. Lo and behold, I understand how the whole management system of coffee shops work for sure. And I had some insight to how it worked top down too, but a lot of times the CEO is just a spokesperson, guys. Like they're not doing they're a name on a paper, a stamp on a paper, and they're a mouthpiece for the company. They're not doing any real hard work. They're not looking at the numbers and doing an analysis to how they can make it better. They have people to do all of those jobs, right? So he's literally just a person that takes the big meetings. That's it. That's all of those CEOs are, most of them. But check it out though. Like he had 12 years at McKinsey and Company, and then he moved to PepsiCo as the CEO for 5 years, and then he was the CEO of Reckitt, a health firm, and then after all that, you know, Starbucks picked him up. So he's got a crazy ass resume, you know what I mean? So it's like, what is he doing for all those companies? What has he done?
Well, but this again, it's irrelevant. I'm not saying he doesn't do his job. It's the fact that he's the he doesn't have much but what you said, right? So he's the representation, he's the mouthpiece. When you're doing an interview, I don't want to see your company say that shit.
No, I
Because
get
you're
that.
the CEO.
Right.
So you say that,
Right.
to me, it's like, oh, that's all of Starbucks is like this? This is how you guys operate? Oh, it's a little weird.
Right.
It's a little
Right.
fucking weird.
It's the, and again, I keep pulling it just from a greater context, and it's just something I'm noticing a lot. I mean, like today, okay, I went and got tacos for lunch. They forgot my fucking, and I'm gonna sound like a freaking fat cat elitist here, but listen, they forgot my drink and they forgot one of my tacos. Okay. What that tells me is that whoever's running that place, either that's a terrible employee, it could be possible, but there's a whole order chain here, right? They took my order, I paid for it, like they put it in the computer, all that kind of stuff. It's like, and on top of that, no utensils, no utensils, and no napkins. This is like soft tacos. You're gonna get messy. You got, so to me, there's something broken there. It's like there's not an attention to detail. Hey, okay, so this person ordered this thing. Did they get all their items? Did they get, this is a list of the things that goes in every bag. Did they get that stuff? Okay, like, and again, this is a stupid, minor, small thing, but I notice it all the time now. And I think what it is either it's like some kind of distraction, or whoever it is, whoever's there, they don't. It feels like they're not there for you, the customer, and they don't want to do the extra work, the normal extra, or what I thought was normal, the normal extra work to just make sure, like, hey,
That's not extra work. That's not extra work. I
right,
paid you for X amount of tacos and a drink and a sauce and a whatever, right?
right.
So you give me my
What I
food,
pay for it,
my
right,
drink, my fucking napkins, and my cutlery, and I'm out. Like, it makes no
right.
fucking sense. That's not extra, right? The extra is yes, sir, no, sir, hi, hello, how are you, smile.
Hey, listen, and then I mean, Starbucks is pretty good with that. I love the baristas at the Starbucks I go to all the time. They're friendly. They know me by name. I do think Starbucks, just on the corporate level, they've gotten that dialed in, and that's pretty dang good. And rarely do they mess up my order. I rarely have I gone to Starbucks and have my order messed up. So I can't say that it's a blanket statement across the board for all companies, but I notice it a lot. That just I'll give you an example. Like, another example. Went to the gym yesterday, did a workout. Okay. They have a little bar there for getting protein drinks and stuff like that. Right. Okay. I walk up to the register. Okay. Dude is making another person shake. I understand that, but I'm waiting there for like 5 minutes with no acknowledgement, which is so weird. Like, to me, not that you must, say all these nice things to me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, hey, if it were me and I'm making somebody's drink, I would see that person. I go, hey, man, I see you there. Give me like 1 minute. I'm going to take care of their drink. I'll be right with you. All you got to say, and I know this from like driving Uber and stuff too. Like, when I get an Uber now, it's always this weird vibe to me. And I know, like, I drove Uber for 2 years and had a perfect record. Okay. If someone got in the car, I'd go, hey, what's going on, man? You doing all right today? Okay, great. And I get a vibe like, do they want to talk? Do they want to just be silent? Whatever. If they want to be silent, if they got their things in, cool. I shut the fuck up and I just keep driving. I'm here to drive, and my job is to make it the smoothest ride to wherever you need to go with the least amount of problems and all that kind of shit. And I cared about that. I was like, I want this to be the best ride they ever had. That was my mentality. Now, part of that is, sure, I'm getting paid as an independent contractor, whatever, by Uber, or was, what I'm saying? But part of it's just like, if I'm in an Uber, how do I want to be, the golden rule, man? How do I want to be treated? I want to be treated the way I want to be treated. If I'm having a rough day, I don't want anybody to talk to me. I want the Uber driver to sense that and then shut up. And I want him to drive as efficiently and as smoothly as possible to whatever destination and let me out. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would want. And maybe this is, I know I'm on my high horse here, but I think maybe, say what you will about living in a quote unquote white Christian America, but like, when I was growing up, it was a white Christian America. And I feel like maybe that's part of it, that when you go to church on Sundays and they say, the golden rule and have empathy and love your enemies and blah, 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 blah. I feel like maybe that translates into, okay, you're living in a society where people are empathetic and they think about the other person and their experience and what they would want, and they do it out of just something in their heart. Hey, I want you to have a good experience in this, whatever this is, whether it's just getting a taco or whatever. Let me put that out there. So I don't know. I just feel like there's something to be said for living in a culture where the idea is like, oh, well, it's me and I'm doing my thing. And at 6 o'clock, I'm doing this job because I just need this job and it gives me money. And if I'm not getting paid for it, then I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't like that. I feel like you do a job, you do it right, and fine. You're not getting paid that extra little bit. Then so what? Like, where's your soul in this thing? I don't know. That's just how
I mean, I also do think that, like, especially small time workers, like, they should get paid if they work overtime or whatever. You get paid.
Sure.
But I also feel like that the expectation is that at that level you get paid if you work extra time. You know what I'm trying to say? But
Sure.
when you're a CEO, like, you're on a salary, you don't get paid for any day. You're paid. You're paid to do your job. Your job needs to be done. Doesn't matter what day it is.
Right.
You got 365 of those motherfuckers to do what the fuck you got to do.
Right. Damn, man. Now I feel the pressure. I'm going to take back everything I said, guys.
Nope.
Once the show ends today, it's over. Don't talk to me till the next time we do a show. And get to editing. One day I will be a CEO where I can just do that. And I'll have all the little editors editing all the little things. And I'm like, get back to work. It's 6 o'clock. I got 20 kids I got to hang out with.
You hear this guy?
From 5 Wives.
I do.
Can't wait.
I'm trying to show him that he looks just like this guy.
Oh my gosh.
ZiLLY in the making.
It's always Indians, man. Always Indians causing trouble. All right. Well, but I feel what you're saying, Deezy. I do agree that things should be fair too. It's not right.
Yeah. Like and look, we don't know nothing about his day-to-day operations and how much work or time he actually has put in for the company.
Yeah, but I'm not judging that.
Maybe it was a misplaced statement. That I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But I also don't think that you can fucking kill the messenger over what he said. It's like
Starbucks' fucking board did not agree with what you were saying, brother. Because they hired the Chipotle guy real fucking quick. They said 6 p.m., you're out, don't come back.
They said that they fired him due to just an overall decline in the performance of Starbucks. That's what they said.
Yeah, and you think that has anything to do with the fact that after 6 p.m. you can't call him? I don't know. And that's what probably this is exactly what the shareholder meeting looked like, right?
Maybe if he didn't clear the tweet when the Starbucks Workers United posted solidarity with Palestine shortly after the attack on Israel, that led to some drop in their stock and revolt by people. And shit, dude, I don't know. Like,
they're blaming Starbucks guy for the fucking war in the Middle East.
That's a hard.
Well, that's crazy.
Come on, dude.
I'm sorry, I can't
Come on,
get on board. I'm not even on board with this. Like, boycott these people because who's they support? Shut the fuck up, bro. Do you like their coffee? Go fucking drink it. Because the 16 of you that are not going anymore are not making a fucking difference to Starbucks. Bro.
If they were dropping hot coffee bombs, it'd be a different story. Like if it's a giant cup in the sky, they'd be dropping it and it's just pouring hot, scalding coffee on these Palestinians. That'd be a different story.
Yeah, but it's
you know what I'm saying?
Well, like some money from Starbucks goes to like fund some schools for some kids in Israel, and it's like no, because it happens in Israel. It's like what is really going on, bro? Like, do you even know, or you're just again? And then is it Palestinian people telling you to do this, or is it like white women white knighting out here? Like, boycott
Right.
Starbucks, and then later they're gonna be like, yes, nobody's coming, and they're gonna hoard all the pumpkin spice.
Well,
Like,
let me ask you this. What if Starbucks built a new one of those like badass new Starbucks reserves? Have you seen those in New York City? They're like 3 floors and they're like a restaurant almost, and like a coffee bar. What if, to make things right, a location that had been bombed out, they built the first Palestinian run Starbucks reserve, and all the
where
Palestinians can get that good
in Palestine,
in Palestine, and they could get
brother? There's
and they could
no
get that
homes
good.
in Palestine. What do you mean a Starbucks reserve?
No, like one of these bombs that blew this building, and not to make light of that, but I'm just saying, well, kind of to make light of that. I mean, you clear that shit out and you build a Starbucks there. They can't hate on Starbucks at that point. They can't blame the CEO.
But like what they need, nah, bro, they need to like erect buildings so people can live there again, right? Because right now, all the buildings are crumbling and dilapidated because they've been bombed, right? So like putting up I actually think that if they were to put up a Starbucks reserve in Palestine, it'd be such a slap in the face to Palestinians. Like, oh, you guys are dying? Want coffee?
What if the coffee
You
was
want the
free?
really expensive one? Like, you put a Starbucks reserve, so coffee's not $4, it's $9. Fuck.
What if it was free coffee? Dang it. All right. I'm not a good CEO. I would not be a good CEO of Starbucks.
Bro, I would have threw you out of the window for that one. I would have been like, bro, come on. We could like help rebuild a building, you know? Could put up like
and just put a logo on it.
Complex.
Hey, look, no, we don't have to do coffee. Rebuild the buildings in Palestine. Just put a logo on it. You know what I'm saying? For future marketing.
Logos on it. What? We're gonna make a deal. It's gonna be Starbucks property management as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen. There's
Starbucks
also
property,
bro. Of course, there's back doors going on, but there's back doors for everybody. Pause.
All right. We can discuss this later, but just to put
as if we're gonna make it happen.
I'm just saying there are ways to make peace. All right, people.
Same. You know where this came from, Deezy, is that people shouldn't get canceled. Like you can't cancel. You can't just be out here boycotting businesses like this. Bro. It's crazy.
No, you can. Some businesses are really jacked up, bro. We got to be able to boycott business.
I mean, you can boycott businesses, but like boycotting. What was the reason for the boycott of Starbucks?
Right. That doesn't make any sense to me. What do they have to do with Israel, Palestine, this whole deal? You can't blame the CEO for something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm saying, like, you think that what if Starbucks, like, what are they doing? What are they giving to? They supplied coffee to some soldiers. I don't think that's.
They've been giving that nitro cold brew to these soldiers, keeping them up at night.
Is that a problem to you? Do you feel like that's too far?
Ooh, interesting.
Because I think that's what it is.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like Starbucks official coffee of the IDF or some shit.
Let me visualize. I'm IDF. All right, I'm out. I'm scared. Okay. I'm also mad because of what's going on. I'm ready to go kill. Okay. And then somebody, hands me a frothy, dark, delicious nitro cold brew with just the right amount of caffeine. Yeah, I'd be mad at Starbucks.
Bro, he's not tripping. He's going to net between 7.8 and 13 million in severance. His cash severance is paid out within 10 business days of termination and the rest 18 months after.
Okay,
bro.
This adds a new dimension to this whole thing. Because if I was Starbucks CEO, Starbucks ain't doing so hot, what am I going to do? I'm going to say some wild stuff, get the board riled up, get me fired, get that severance. That's the move.
The new guy is going to earn more than $100 million.
$112 million, dog.
His base salary is 1.6 million, so he's getting 1.6 million no matter what. And then opportunity for cash incentives. Plus, he got a $10 million signing bonus. Imagine a $10 million signing bonus, bro. Just here's 10 milli. Do good.
So I'm saying, bro, you think this 13 million or whatever the max this guy can get is anything? It's fucking piddly.
They're giving him equity in the company up to $75 million worth of equity in the Starbucks.
So it wasn't intentional. We can agree on that. Well, listen, there are not just in corporate America, but in American politics, we got some leaders. Some are good, some are not so good. Let's talk about the good ones first. So I would like to say that I believe Trump did an amazing, real solid thing today. Maybe Deezy, you can describe what he did at the wreath laying ceremony, because it's a real paints a real contrast between Trump and the current administration.
Well, he laid the wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier. They were doing gathering for the third year of the 13 soldiers who died. It's a long thing, but either way, he was there and he laid the wreath, which is usually done by the commander in chief. Historically, the commander in chief is the person who does that. And Biden and Kamala were not there. So it was Trump was there, RFK Jr. was there.
Right. So the wreath, just to be clear, the wreath laying ceremony was for, I believe, when we left Afghanistan. Right, there were 13. We unceremoniously left Afghanistan and left all of our shit there. Right, we just left everything for the Taliban to take, and which on the one hand was terrible, and I do agree that the way it was conducted was shitty. On the other hand, I am glad that we got out of there, but there were, I think, 13 soldiers at the airport, right, that were just left behind to die. I'm not sure exactly what that situation was, but that's my understanding, is that everyone just literally left, and we just left people there, soldiers, and they all got killed, 13 of them. Is that accurate?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
And this is something, this wreath laying ceremony, which is 3 years after that happened. Is this the first? Excuse me. Is this the first time that that's been done? And only Trump was the one who was doing it. Did they never do any type of ceremony in the past? I don't know, but
Usually the president and commander in chief is the person that lays the wreath, and they've
yeah,
done it before, and
yeah,
they do it to for memorials of different soldiers often.
right. I'm just curious if, like, the current administration, if they were invited or if they decided to skip it. I just want to make sure that it's not.
What do you mean? They're of course they. What do you mean? Why wouldn't they be invited?
It was an official government ceremony. It wasn't like a private memorial being held by families or.
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
Well, this isn't the first time that the Biden administration wasn't allowed to even touch the wreath, right? There's been ceremonies before where I believe Trump and Biden were both there, and Trump was the one who was either allowed to touch it or hung it, and they removed Biden and stopped him from touching the wreath at all. I don't think he's the president.
Oh, damn. You think Trump's still commander in chief?
I do. I don't think that he ever gave up the presidency.
Man, I want to believe, I really do, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll know by election day what's going on. But regardless, I do think that in terms of leadership, I think if you're the president and hey, listen, presidents make decisions, and sometimes people die. That's just the reality of it. And get maimed horribly and all that stuff. So, one, if you're president, try not to make decisions where people get killed and maimed horribly. Might be a good place to start. But two, if you have to do something and that ends up happening, sometimes you got to send soldiers in to take care of some business and it doesn't work out the way that you hope. I think you gotta go down with the ship. You gotta show up. People scream at you, yell at you, tell you you're a bastard, whatever. I think it's better for you to show up and show your face and take the hits than to not show up at all. But I think it's an election that's happening right now. I think if Kamala showed up and there are a bunch of pictures and photos of her getting yelled at or getting snubbed or the family's ignoring her or whatever, I could see, I mean, from a strategic perspective, I could see why they would skip it. But from a moral perspective, I feel like if you're going to send Americans into something or, expect them to lay down their lives and they die, just the right thing to do is to show up. But, I understand the politics and the PR side of it. But that said, I think that something to talk about with, that happened last week was Trump and RFK, man. What do you guys think? RFK endorsed Trump. I wasn't that surprised by it. I felt like they've known each other for a long time. They both were in New York for a long time. I think Kennedys and Trumps are familiar with each other. JFK Jr. was good friends with Trump. He said that before he died, or did he die? I don't know. But before he did, he said that Trump would make an amazing president.
The Kennedys and the Trumps and the mob have always been like this, three peas in a pod. So I actually think, like, for example, the fringe Kennedys are the ones that are denouncing him. The
Right.
real Kennedy's been dead, bro. You know what I mean? Their families,
Damn.
you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so I think that it's like the fringe Kennedys and I think that Donald Trump's immediate family loves him. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that, in my opinion, this is a huge link up, but I don't think that it's like an unexpected link up.
Right.
I think that this was the only true progression of this, right? Is Kennedy goes out, gets some backing, sees that he doesn't have, although he may have a little bit of people behind him or like a nice group of people behind him, he doesn't have like beat Donald Trump people behind him. And then sees, well, maybe it's better if I work with him because he's still my buddy and he's always been a family friend.
Right. Yeah. I think the only thing that is kind of surprising to me is the endorsement. I thought maybe Kennedy might just go, you know what, I'm not for anybody. I'm going to stay out of this and just go away, basically. But I think from his speech, which I thought his speech was amazing, and I will say during that farewell speech, he gave a very presidential, probably the best speech of his entire career, and he really spoke to America as a divided country and trying to unify it. I thought it was a really, really amazing speech that he gave. But in that speech, I understand why he made the decision that he made, because he said he talked to Trump, and Trump was like, "Yo, baby, I feel how you see Trump." What'd I say, man? Y'all politicians need to learn how to be politicians again, man.
Bro, they need
Trump
to
was
learn
like,
how to be great leaders again. This is the problem, is like they're not supposed to be lying. Politicians now, they just lie to us, right? Before, they would just stretch the truth. You know what I mean? They would tell you the truth, but they would make it look pretty. They would put lipstick on a pig. You know what I mean? And that's okay. I'd rather feel like, oh, they're doing it for my own good, than like be like, fuck, I fucking hate these guys. They're taking away all my civil liberties and like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like that's the difference now, is they're lying and they don't give a fuck that we know that they're lying. They just blatantly lie.
They've gotten arrogant.
Yes.
What do you think, Deezy? Do you want to be lied to, Deezy? Just a little bit, just a smidge, just to feel good. You know what I'm saying?
I know they're lying, bro. I pay attention and I could cite the times that people lie, especially all these goddamn politicians, bro. They're on record lying. Everything is recorded. And now we live in the age of information and technology, and you cannot run from your past because it exists forever. So these people will all reap what they sow at the end of the day eventually. It may be it's going to be at the cost of all of us, but I guess it's how the cookie crumbles, you know.
Well, I mean, I guess the bigger question is with this RK endorsement that I have is, how do you feel about this unity? They're calling it the Unity Party. So you got these sort of I guess we're talking about the center. We got people in the center who feel disenfranchised, feel like they haven't had a party, right? And I think the strategy that the Trump team is doing, which isn't kind of new for Trump, because Trump is known to be a divisive figure, or at least a lot. That's what the story's been, right? That he's extremely divisive, and he's just going straight for the key, conservative whatever block, and that's how he won in 2016. But it seems like the strategy this time around is, I'm not that divisive. I'm going to bring some of these, these Democrats who don't feel like they have a party anymore. I'm going to bring them into the fold. And RFK Jr. in his campaign was sort of that was that crowd. And RFK said that he's just the first, that they're going to bring in more. He's going to bring in more Democrats that feel like they don't have a party. My guess would be Tulsi Gabbard and some to that effect into the fold. So I'm just curious what you guys think about that. Is it I know it may be a smart decision politically, but is that what we want? Do we want a party that is in the middle, or do we want a party that really represents, our values to the letter?
I feel like a party that is in the middle does represent our values to the letter. So like they should be bringing people in from both sides, and the smarter people and the more centered people from the left that are that were traditionally Democrats that have left their party to become independent or whatever the case. Because if Trump can turn the Republican Party into the independent party, think about that, right?
Right.
If all of the Republicans get behind this idea that, we're not going to be a part of these major parties anymore, like they haven't done anything good for either side, either way. Let's get behind people
But
who
he
want
kind
to
of
do right.
always was that. He
I
didn't
know.
like you didn't have to
Right.
change his thing, but like he's never been this far right extreme person that they paint him to be, right? He's
Right.
it's again, he was somebody that was on the left. So calling him center was generous, and now he's considered far right. That's how far the scale has moved. Because the left used to just be just a little left to center. You know what I mean? Just a little more liberal. Just like a little more, you know what I mean?
It used to be just like social safety net, and don't pick on these gays too much. That's what it used to be basically. And I guess abortion, reasonable, make it reasonable when it comes to abortion
No,
stuff.
it
That
was
was sort of
free abortions for all. Let's be clear. It really was. That's like and listen, that may not be my values because again, I don't believe in abortion for like as birth control, right?
Yeah.
I believe that that's not what it's for. I'm not
Right.
saying that nobody can get abortions. I'm not saying whatever. But anyways, I digress. I don't want to go too far into that. Deezy, you had something that you wanted to show us?
Yeah, we were talking about Trump laying the wreath, and there was this video of the Attorney General of Alabama being interviewed, and I just wanted you to kind of listen to this interview and just these statements.
Okay.
Is Joseph R. Biden of Delaware the duly elected and lawfully serving president of the United States of America?
He is the president of this country.
Is he the duly elected and lawfully serving president of the United States?
He is the president of our country.
Are you answering that omitting the language duly elected and lawfully serving purposefully?
I'm answering the question. He is the president of the United States.
And you have no view as to whether he was duly elected or is lawfully serving?
I'm telling you, he's the president of the United States.
No further questions.
Why is he in front of Congress? Or is that's Alabama State?
What's yeah, I think a lot of people are asking, when is this recorded? But yeah, that's the Alabama Attorney General being talked to, deposed or whatever. Fucking getting
By who? By who?
Mr. White House. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where this came from, but I saw it the other day. But
So
I
I'm gonna be
haven't
honest
seen.
with you. Every time somebody answers a question like that, and then you ask them about the specific language, and then they still won't do it. To me, I don't need more answers, right? You're not willing to say he's everything that I said. You are purposefully avoiding it.
Right. But I guess the reason I'm asking is because
It might have to do with the election and the
right.
election.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it an election related thing from last time where he's
I
saying
think it
that
has to
there
do
was
with election integrity and stuff like that. Yeah.
because that's a big thing. Like one of the things that I still have a lot of concerns about with this upcoming election is what are they doing to make sure that everything is done properly. Like if there's election day again, I mean, it's one of the things I almost want to be like, people should tell the Trump administration, hey, listen, I'm not voting for you guys unless you can prove that when I go vote in my state, my shit is going to be counted properly. Because what does it matter then? If I go out here, I mean, Florida's red, so whatever. You know, I don't know. I'm still figuring out. I said I wouldn't vote before, but I don't know. I'm just saying that Florida's red, so it's one thing. But if I see another dang thing at the next election where they're counting stuff in the middle of the night, or they're counting things and then they got to take a break in the middle of the night. If I see another one of those things and all of a sudden there's all these votes that are popping up like they did last time, and all of a sudden Kamala comes out there in the middle of the night saying that she's the winner before they even finish counting everything. I mean, to me, if that happens again, it's over. It is over for the United States. There is no way any election ever matters. It's over. The country's been taken over because that's what they did last time, man. And I don't know.
Well, I actually think at this point it's going to lead to civil war. I'm almost at the point where it might lead to civil war anyways. Like regardless of who wins, or there may not even be an election because it's getting out of hand, right? That it's so like volatile in like everywhere that I see. And I don't know if that's just that because it's loud, where the people who are upset are really upset and they have a voice, so they're really fucking loud. But I don't know, man. If it feels like it's a tipping point. It feels like people are boiling over and they're gonna fucking snap.
Bro, they are. Look at this, just came out, dude, to prove your point. Mark Zuckerberg expresses deep regret over Meta's compliance with the Biden administration to censor COVID-19 content in 2021. He admits they should have been more outspoken against the censorship attempts. He reveals that the White House repeatedly urged them to remove COVID-related content, including humor and satire. He believes that the government pressure was wrong and vows to push back. And he announces he will no longer contribute money to Democratic candidates this election cycle.
Zuckerberg, something interesting is going on there, man. I'm not sure what to make of it. He's had like a whole. At first, I'm inclined to believe it's a PR thing, but if he just said that, because he's been going through a whole transformation, right?
Seems like personality fucking flip, or like he just got a personality. You know what I mean? Like he finally reached the level of money where you can buy a personality, and the one that he bought is a little bit more conservative.
It's dope. It's a good one.
He's a dope guy. Yeah, I feel like everything that I see about him now is so much more cool and human. You know what I mean?
Maybe the puppet strings got cut somehow.
I don't know, bro.
Maybe he's just looking around, bro, and he's like, this is out of hand. The Telegram founder just got arrested. They're coming after Elon. Like, what's to stop them from coming after me?
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not this in my mind. If I were him, he's like, this is not what I envisioned of my platform to be some kind of government tool to censor information.
Nah, if you know how Facebook came about, you know that is an absolute fucking lie.
Yeah.
Like what you know what, that I think it's the CIA stopped their platform that they were using to track people like the day that Facebook was made. Facebook came out.
Yeah, LifeLog.
Yeah,
I think is what it was called.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
he's
yeah, who knows?
he's always been about that shit. So I'm kind of confused as to where we're at now with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
why is
right.
he having this change of heart? And like again, he's seemingly so much more human. And like, is it his wife? Is it like
You
where
know, you
when you
know,
get a wife, you're like all of a sudden you become that, like that fucking switch flips in you, and you're
well,
like, oh, I'm a
he's been
man. I
married.
gotta protect my wife. You turn into like a fucking conservative.
I mean, I think he's been with his wife since college. So on some level, I mean, if you really think about it, he's lived a pretty conservative at least from public view, pretty conservative life. He married his college sweetheart. You never hear about him saying shady stuff, or you never heard about any kind of sex. I mean, to be fair, 100%.
Yeah, but most of these people do, right? Like the ones that are really pushing this, like, oh, go ahead, do whatever you want, love whoever you want to love, and whatever. They've loved the same person since they were 6. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'll be
So,
honest with you. This is going to be controversial with conservatives, but there's a lot of these conservative, quote unquote, leaders or whatever, and they got shady past, man. I'm thinking of someone in particular, but
hey, bro, there ain't nothing wrong with that, though. Do you understand that? Who do you think was Jesus's disciple?
sure. I'm not
You
saying
have to
that.
in order to be like a saint, you have to be first a sinner.
Oh
Sure.
shit, bro. In this letter, I didn't even read the letter. At the bottom of the letter it says, in a separate situation, the FBI warned us about a potential Russian disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma leading up to the 2020 election. That fall, we saw a post reporting on corruption allegations involving the presidential nominee Joe Biden's family. We sent that story to fact checkers for review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. It has since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation.
Ooh.
And in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things waiting for fact checkers.
Are we gonna start posting spicy shit on Instagram now? Dang. Okay, you know what? This might be it though, and this is the cynical part of me. The most cynical part of me is that look, Zuck's a hardcore capitalist. He wants to win. Elon's winning. Elon's opened the door. X is competitive. He knows X is getting a bunch of people on the platform because they know that X is free speech.
So he's like, fuck it, say what you want. I want the money.
Well, a couple of things. I think the first thing is this. I could see a couple of things that made him go, you know what, fuck these motherfuckers. One is Elon challenging him to a fight and basically embarrassing him in that whole thing, right? So that's one thing. Him being called an alien all the time when he went in front of Congress. I mean, that's kind of weird. A person like you keep calling somebody look like a robot, alien, weirdo, whatever, dude. At some point, you're gonna break and be like, all right, fucking, I got $1 gajillion. Somebody hire me the best stylist.
Like, help me figure this shit the fuck out. Buy me a soul, something.
Yeah, bro. Give me the best spray tan on this side of the fucking.
And this side of the Jersey fucking turnpike, bud.
I would
Yeah, dude,
love
like, fuck.
whoever's doing the style for Zuck. I would love to get him on the show. If you're out there, I don't know who you are. I got to do that research. If I can find you, I would love to get you on the show. He got that spray tan. He got the chain. He's wearing shirts that are a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? He got into UFC. He's been building up. He's riding these waves with an American flag. I don't know.
Listen, fuck Zuck, but cheers to the stylist who's doing this shit.
All right. Cheers to Zuck Styles. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
He's definitely a free speech Nazi up to this point. So I'm gonna need to show me something, Zuck. Not just your fucking your clothes. I don't give a fuck about your clothes and your chain, bro. You look more human. Now show me some. Make it fucking.
Listen,
You
he
know?
said that moment with Trump at the assassination or whatever when he pumped his fist was the most badass thing he'd ever seen in his life. You know, now so it's one of two things. He's either playing it, you know, he's doing this because it's to his advantage. It makes people like him, and if he's more likable, people are more inclined to want to use his products and services. Okay, or he's had a real change.
Or that was just really badass, bro.
I mean, it was badass, but for him to say it out loud in public on an interview, that's new. I don't think he would have done that before. You know, so I don't know. You know, Zuck, if you want to come on the show, talk about it.
Maybe he sees the writing on the wall, bro. Maybe he sees the writing on the wall. Maybe he's like, "Fuck, Trump's gonna get in here." And if he's
Right.
RFK Jr.'s fucking involved, and he's anti-COVID, like anti-vaccines, and you know, fuck, I don't want to be complicit in covering up some bullshit. And I was urged by the government, so I'm not doing it no more. Fuck that.
We'll know, I think, if he truly has had a change of heart. Well, okay, here's a question. What would he have to do to convince you guys that he has had a true change of heart when it comes to free speech, Trump, all this stuff? What
I
would
need to see
Zuckerberg have to
some,
do?
bro. I need to see some. I don't know. Stop censoring motherfuckers. I don't need him to say shit. I'm tired of him talking. I'm tired of seeing him anywhere. Now I need the platforms to do the work. Show me you're not censoring motherfuckers. Let's see some shit. Let it stay there. You know what I mean? I don't want to go see something and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Give me rev share of the data of mine that you sell.
Ooh.
You're selling my data. I want some of it. I'll let you sell my data because I know you're doing it anyway, but I want 1% of whatever comes off of my data. 10%.
What you're saying, Deezy, is you want reparations, bro.
Yeah, bro. I want my data reparations, dog. I'm tired of this. I've been a
Data
slave.
reparations. I love it.
I've been a slave to terms and conditions, bro.
You have been a slave. Time for data reparations. Me too, man. All of us have been. Yo, fresh. No, hear us out, man. We've all been data slaves, and we need data reparations.
God damn it. God damn it.
Bro.
So fucking close.
You have been a data slave, bro, and you deserve data reparations.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what we
dude.
want. That's what we demand, Zuck. Otherwise, we're not going to post on Facebook anymore.
I don't post on Facebook, bro. I've let my dude,
he doesn't
Zuckerberg,
know that, bro. I guess he does know that, actually, but
they still have access. She probably has access to all my photos and everything anyway. Still, who
Yeah,
knows?
just because you don't post there, if it's still on your phone, forget about it.
Dude, he's got my screen time. He knows, bro. He's watching.
Yeah, true. Well, Zuck, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, man. I'm not saying that you truly have embraced whatever values, but at least if you're a hardcore capitalist and you're actually trying to compete in the market by saying stuff like this, I can respect that. Hey, I'll take it.
Bug it, bro.
I think we're probably going to wrap up here in a little bit. We've been going a while now. Just realized. We were talking about how we were just going to do an hour. Now we're doing 3 hours. But I do want to try something real quick. A new game. Actually, we tried it before with somebody that we're going to be doing a drip drop with. By the way, anybody watching, listening, if you're not on Drip, that's drip.hoss, drip.hoss. If you're not on that, get on there and follow us at the Goat Show Pod, because we're going to be doing more exclusive drops there. We're going to be doing collabs with other artists and other people that are in the crypto space. And you're going to want to get your hands on some of these Goat Show exclusive clips that you can get over there. Doesn't cost you anything. Just save up your droplets on Drip and you can grab one. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff there. So if you have not gone already, go to drip.hoss. You can look in the description and we'll have the link there. And go ahead and follow us over there and get you some Goat Show exclusive clips, exclusive NFTs. But with that said, I wanted to, try some with you guys. We have a game that we purchased. It's called Pick Your Poison. You can see it there. They don't sponsor the show, although we'd love to have them. But it's a cool game. It's a card game, and basically, you pull out 2 cards and you got to pick your poison. You got to decide between one or the other. And the theme of today has been leadership, good leaders, bad leaders, all that kind of stuff. And one thing I will say is that any leader has to make decisions. The worst leader is the one that makes no decisions.
Fact.
And so today, Fresh and Deezy are going to have to make some tough decisions. Now, I have randomly selected 2 cards from Pick Your Poison. I'm going to shuffle the deck so as not to be biased in any way whatsoever. All right, putting it together. Deezy, you want to cut the deck, Deezy? Just let me know when you want to cut it. Cut the deck. All right, we cut the deck. There we go. Okay, cool.
I was letting you shuffle a little bit.
All right, I do one more shuffle, and then oh wait, shit. These aren't always on the same. Okay, well, whatever. One more shuffle. Okay, so as not to be biased, Fresh. Just what part of my finger do you want me to pull 2 cards from? Okay, so right there. As you can see, right there. I'm going to pull 2 cards. All right, so the way this works for anybody watching, I got 2 cards. They're going to say 2 things, and I'm going to go to. I think we'll go to Fresh first, and then Deezy. You guys have to pick which one you would do. You have to pick your poison and why. All right, so here we go. Boom. First card. First card says, so would you rather be French kissed by, I don't know if you can see that, French kissed by an aggressive anteater.
Okay.
Or have pubic hair cover your entire body. So let me repeat that. Be French kissed by an aggressive anteater, or have pubic hair cover your entire body. Which, if you had to pick one, which one would you do?
This is kind of funny, right? But like, I mean, I'm a pretty hairy motherfucker right now. G, I don't like. You understand that? Like, I'm like a fucking. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh!
So
stop turning me on.
To be honest with you, I think that the second one already kind of applies, right? Because it's.
So you already got
hair. I have the same hair everywhere. What the fuck?
To what extent? Is it like covering your body?
Yeah, like do I have to cover my face and shit?
Yeah, I think your entire
status.
For the sake of tough decision making, it covers every part of your body that is not covered by hair currently.
All right, then just have the anteater give me a kiss.
Okay, so but before you make a final decision, an aggressive anteater. But how does an anteater shoots the tongue out? Like if it's an ant, it shoots its tongue out, sucks up the ant. I mean, is there anything really? It may not be that.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Fuck it.
Right.
This is why. So listen, I only wasn't picking it because I assumed that I'm already really hairy. I'm already covered in hair, anyways. So what's the difference? But yeah, absolutely. Then if it's got to cover like my face and everything, then fuck it. I'll kiss the anteater real quick.
What about you, Deezy? Which one, pubic hair or anteater?
I'm seconding that motion.
Anteater. Okay, well, let me throw something out there.
I got pubic hair on my whole body, bro, and you have to deal with that like forever in your whole life.
Like on your eyelids.
Nah, bro, that's terrifying.
Okay, so let me turn it up a notch. What if the anteater? It's an aggressive anteater. Let's say it's really aggressive. What if it literally would tear your tongue out of your mouth, and you couldn't speak again because it just so aggressively sucked your tongue out of your mouth and ate it.
That's not what the card says. All right,
yeah.
Really.
But let's just say that's how aggressive it is. Which one?
I really
pubic hair all over you for life,
bro. I really don't want to have hair on my fucking eyelids, because you can't even shave there, bro. That's sensitive. I wouldn't cut there. Then you can't see all of a sudden razor through the eyeball because you fucking nah.
The other way though, you can't talk. You can't ever talk. We couldn't do the show. Aggressive
I'm a-
Andrew, come in,
bro.
get your freaking tongue out.
I'm the one that knocks.
Listen, if
That anteater,
okay.
that anteater better be scared of me.
I would do the pubic hair. It would be a nuisance, no doubt. But at least I could talk still. I'll just go weekly to the, the place where they, put the wax. I mean, it sucks. You're going to get waxed every week. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, at least I could still do the show.
I wouldn't do the show with you, pubic boy.